Hello and welcome. I'm Peter and we're here to make progress, not perfection, but on that way to progress, we're gonna have to take some losses. And man, oh man, did I take my fair share of losses against Hwoarang in ranked. Oh no! Damn it! Ah! Oh my god! I don't know why, for what reason, I thought it was a high. I should have just blocked. What am I doing?
Why are we still here? Just to suffer every night.
So yeah, as you guys can tell, my knowledge of this character is very sparse, and matchup experience is even less so. And that's what really kind of drove me to make this video and go on this journey. And I hope you guys who are watching go on this journey with me as I lab against this character and make this video series on how to deal with Hwoarang. Because truly, this is in part a teaching and knowledge video, as well as it is a documentary for myself to look back on and reflect upon, well, my losses and the learning experience. So without further ado, guys, let's get to the video. Alright, before we continue, here are the moves that I have laid out. Sorry for the interruption, guys. Future Peter here making an appearance, and I'm gonna be making a couple of these appearances throughout the video, so I hope you stay with me. Anyhow, so these attacks that I've laid out are not necessarily all the things that you're facing in ranked or in a game. For instance, you're probably facing a lot of left flamingo, right flamingo, back turn, right foot forward stance. Yes, there's a lot of stances involved with the character, but I think it's really important to learn how to deal with the bullshit that happens that's not in stance before you get all up into the stances stuff. So these are the attacks that don't have to involve stance, because once you get stances involved, it becomes another ball game. And if you're wondering, when are we gonna get to the stance? Don't worry. We'll get to the stances and we'll get to the other attacks that you're having trouble dealing with later in another video. So learn to deal with these attacks that I've categorized, and it'll make your life a lot easier. Back to the video. So Plasma Blaze minus 19. Those of you who didn't know, this move is hella punishable. Hella punishable. You see his leg go up? Anytime it's in the air, you can basically get a punish on it. Even at tip range, you can jet upper it. Future Peter back at it again. So to give you a little bit of context about this attack, typically speaking, when Hwoarangs want to use back three, it's when you've whiffed something and they're looking to whiff punish you. A competent Hwoarang player isn't going to just be YOLOing out back three after back three. Unless, of course, you're in the lower ranks, in which case that will be the case. Nonetheless, typically speaking, as I said, it's when you whiff something and then they're going to throw this attack out. That's when you can expect it the most often. Going back to what I said before, this attack doesn't have too much pushback. However, some characters have really bad 15 frame punishers. In the case of Fang, his hop kick doesn't have the best range. However, normally speaking, out in the open, you're most likely going to be able to hop kick punish this. But at max range, hop kick isn't going to hit. So you'll have to find something that does. And because I do feel bad for you Fang players, I'll give you a couple of tips on this. So you can use 4-4 in this situation, that'll punish, or you can use kind of an unconventional down forward 3. This will also punish. For Kazumi, who has notoriously a bad hop knee, this is obviously not going to work. But this is one of the few times that you can possibly use Tiger Uppercut. And if you feel that this is probably a little bit too risky, well, you can always use 4-3-2. For you Steve players, well, you have back 2. This attack is fantastic and it covers more range than you would think. Now, I don't have time to cover every single character and what their punishment tool would be, but just set Hwoarang to do back 3 and test out to see for yourself which of your attacks will hit even at tip range. The next move, I'm going to explain Hwoarang's 4-string real quick. Hwoarang's 4-string, if he just presses 4, this is all highs. This is all highs, right? So this is obviously really terrible because you could just duck, right? You could just duck everything. But the problem is that there's a mid in here. He can do 4-3, 4-4-3. I don't really think it's that much in your favor to duck. How punishable are the mid extensions? The mid is minus 15, but here's a problem. Here is the problem. This is minus 15, right? And it forces crouch, so I'm crouching. But while standing 1 will not hit. It will not hit. You have to full crouch down 4-2-1. In season 1 and 2, this was your punish. In season 2, this was your punish. But now you have to do this. So if you're playing another character, you're gonna have to find that punish, whatever it is. This move kind of gets abused from time to time. Down 4-3-4. Because it's a double hitting power crush. So this is 14. Yeah. This is 14. But what's tricky about this move is how patient are you going to be patient after every single one of these? Are you going to be patient after every single one of these? Because this is what can happen. Right? Right? That kind of stuff. So, yes, you can be patient for this. You're waiting, like, you're waiting, right? Because you see the startup. You see the startup of this, and it goes into that. And then now you're like, ah, shit, right? Something like that. No, he just cancels the first hit. You see the spark, right? Like, see the white power crush spark? You see this power crush spark, right? He just cancels it. It's a feint. But anyways, just know that this move right here is minus 14. I also believe that the first one might also be minus 14. Yeah, if he only just does the first one, it is also minus 14. So this is kind of a read on if they're going to do 1 or if they're going to do 2. Home surgery. Home surgery. This thing right here. Okay, so this move really shouldn't really be a thing. Because you just low parry. Yeah. Where it gets tricky? So where this move gets tricky is if you get nailed by the first 2 jabs, you cannot low parry. If you get nailed by the first 2, you have to block the low. You cannot low parry on the hit. That's the only thing. If you get hit by these 2, you have to block that. Right? Alright. Firecracker. Down 4-4. This is also not a thing. Should not be a thing. It's a low into this. And this low doesn't go into anything else. Always duck. And you get a nice punish. Back 1. A super evasive move. But it's minus 14 on block. It's launch punishable for characters with a 14 frame launcher. It can evade pretty well, if I remember correctly. So, yeah. So, this is like one of those things that if you try to press, you're gonna get hit by back 1. There's 2 ways that you can kind of play around back 1. So back 1, the range is not very good. He doesn't really move forward too much with this attack. Look at how I'm just walking back. I'm not even Korean backdashing, right? I'm just walking back. And a lot of times it's just whiffing. Imagine like if you just backdashed. You can just backdash it out of range a lot of times. When you have your plus frames, the rule of thumb to kind of keep in mind usually is that if you are at like 4 to 5, he can still do this move and avoid linear attacks. This is minus 14 on block. The animation seems so fast that you miss it. Yes, it's very well possible that you do, because unless you're ready for this, you're gonna miss your punish on it. The thing to realize though is that it's even worse on whiff than it is on block. It's really bad on whiff. So be aware when the opponent is doing something like this. Okay, down back 4-4. This is another kind of fucked up move. This is a low high. Right? It's only minus 1 if you don't duck this. If you do not duck this, this is only minus 1 for him. You can, if you're ready, get a really big punish, but you're better off doing your 15 frame punish. It's kind of hard. This is kind of fast. So go with your 15 frame punish on this situation. Eventually, I will have to cover this, which is he doesn't have to finish the second hit. He doesn't have to do the second hit. If he sees that you're ducking the second hit a lot, he can just go into stance after that back 4, right? But for now, just know that there is a high after that, after the low. Okay, so recognizing that when there isn't a blue spark, there's a difference in the audio cues that you can hear. Like, Hwoarang's like, wah! Or, wah! So, just, when you hear the wah, they sound different. When you hear the wah, does that answer your question, Sensei? But just know that it is minus 18. But it doesn't look like a mid, which is kind of deceptive, right? This is a mid. This is not a high. This is one of those moves that I think is kind of deceptive. Because it's a mid. Up forward 4-4-4. It's a high mid low. It's a high mid low, as you can see. High mid low. High mid low. High mid low. This move is not a really good move to usually throw out. But what it does is it's kind of fucked up. First of all, it's a high mid low. There are very few strings that use the same foot and that has an animation like this. So this is a very common round ender in the lower levels if you don't block it. And it's kind of fucked up because it puts Hwoarang at +7 and in right foot forward. Also why I say this is fucked up, if you block this, he's +1. Which is like, what? You cannot low parry this. The best you can do is low block. If you block the mids, you can't low parry. Yes, correct. Sensei Blaze is correct. So you have to block this. Your two choices, all right, chat. Do I want to be at -7? Or do I want to be at -1? Do you want him to be at +7? Or do you want him to be at +1? And it's kind of fucked up too, because if you're expecting the low, he could just do 2 hits and transition into right flamingo, right? He can just literally do the 2 hits and then just kind of fake you out into this. So this kind of stuff can happen, right? You're like, where's the low? Oh. So you gotta quickly twitch duck the low and then stand back up. As you guys can see, without even going into the stances yet, there's quite a few things to look out for when playing against Hwoarang out in the neutral when he's not in stance. So make sure to look over the list that I gave you guys. You can find it in the video description below. Make sure to be able to either block punish these things or be able to low parry / blow block them. I'll see you guys next time on the next video where we're going to start diving into the stances. And I'm going to say this one more time. Before you get into the stances, make sure to have these attacks down so that you can block punish them, low parry them, or low block them. It's going to be important, guys. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching, guys, and joining me on this video. Also, thank you so much, patrons, for your ever so gracious support. Without you, this would have not been possible. And if you're new here and you like what you see, consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification icon. Below in the descriptions, as always, I also have my links to my Discord, Twitter, Twitch, and Patreon page. See ya next time.